Hello, hey everybody out there, Layla Black and the awesome, amazing crew down below. These ladies are my inspiration, and we wanted to come together and put some ideas out there, put some discussion out there for what's been going on and what is going to be coming. What are some of the changes and what's going on within the Superwomen Connection? So I wanted to bring all of these awesome, amazing women together because they are seriously the powerhouse, the lifeline, the heartbeat of what we do here at the Superwomen Connection. And so many different backgrounds, so many different stories, so many different points of view. And all of these women are here for you. We are here to do everything in our power to make the Superwomen Connection a lifelong community for all of you that you can plug into forever and always have access to this type of support, this type of growth and development, this type of training, and obviously these amazing women. So we have some changes that are coming up right now. Did Sheena? Let's pass it over to Sheena because Sheena was taking some notes and stuff for our last call and did the announcement on Friday just to give us an update on what's going on with the teleseminar and the scheduling for that.
So right now we've canceled the Superwomen teleseminar calls just because we've been brainstorming to be doing actually a podcast which we are all planning right now. They'll probably take between 2 to 3 months. I mean, if earlier, it's great. But instead of doing the calls, we want to use the podcast to spread our message on a wider scale. A lot of big leaders are actually doing podcasts, and they've been doing well with it. And I figure if they can do it, I mean, there's so many amazing women in this panel alone and in our group that can rock the podcast. I mean, there's like over 1,000 women in the Superwomen group alone, and if we all work together to get this done, I mean, it'll be a great opportunity because we can share it on our blog posts. People can download it straight from iTunes, and this is really something that's worldwide on a worldwide scale. So, I know Candace had some booklet on how to get this stuff done, and it's just time. I guess we need to scale up and make things happen because I mean, as Superwomen, especially in the elite, we all want to succeed in our businesses and be on those leaderboards. I mean, I'm sure everyone's ready to be on those leaderboards. So right now we're going to focus on setting up this podcast. We're also going to do some free stuff. So to any of the Superwomen elite out there, it might be a great time now that the calls aren't here to start writing out your stories because we want to actually put a booklet out with all our stories and have it as like a free giveaway, a free gift, and then all the old calls that we have, we can either put it on a podcast or just maybe have a free giveaway as that as well. It's just past calls from before. I mean, we can do something. There's so many ways to get the old calls done. We can do it as a giveaway or we can have it in the podcast. That we're still in the stages, but I mean, this is, I think, something that's very exciting. It's something that we can work together and work smarter towards than just trying to jumble around sometimes. I know we all live a busy life, and this is probably a better solution to what we have now. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think, I don't want anyone to be sad or like going into. I know there will be a little bit of withdrawal because we all feel that connection to the daily call, but really, I want us to refocus on activities that are like Sheena said, scaling up. Almost, like it's time to graduate into the next century. Of the actual way that technology is meant to be used and utilize it to get our message out there. So we've got lots of awesome stuff planned. We are going to have our podcast, which we want to have rolling out within the next 90 days, sooner if possible, and then also our monthly virtual workshops. So we're going to do a virtual workshop every month. where we're going to be teaching you marketing skills. We're going to be sort of walking you through the processes of different techniques and strategies and social networks and how to use them and screen on screen, and it's going to be very interactive and a lot of fun. But yeah, I do want, the podcast is like, I feel like I've been dreaming about it, and I'm really excited that it's actually going to be coming into place. So Candace, why don't I pass it over to you just so you can give us some insight on where we're at with rolling out the podcast and what we need to have in place and what we need to do.
Awesome. Thanks, Layla. I have done a lot of research these past couple days, and thanks to entrepreneuronfire.com with John Lee Dumas. He does an excellent podcasting tutorial, and I posted it in the Superwomen admin group, so you can check it out there. It's all for free. I just want to add a quick note because today is the full moon, and I think it's awesome because there's so much energy with this full moon, and basically I just want to read this quick excerpt because it kind of coincides with what we're about to do. This moon is energized, inspiring, and supports creative action and breakthrough in ideas, problem solving and new ways of approaching something. Watch in patience and beware of frustration around not being able to do everything at the same time. Allow yourself to be inspired and lifted by what is showing up most powerfully. There is plenty of time. Do one thing at a time and take that action with enthusiasm. This is an especially good time for anything that has felt stuck, sluggish, and confusing to find a new creative approach, and you may suddenly find that you have way more support around a project than you originally perceived. Allow this support to help you and the movement to flow. There is a higher centered wave of energy available right now that can energize the daily activity to a higher spiritual plane, but will make things feel a bit otherworldly and less grounded. Take advantage of the higher centered influence you will need to trust something other than your rational mind. So I just wanted to share that because with what we're doing with the movements and the changes, it's supported right now. So we're doing a really good job, ladies. So I'm going to do a screen share, and I did a PowerPoint, and I don't know how to do the whole show the PowerPoint the full length ways, so I'll just do it through my notes. Okay. All right, can you see that, ladies?
Yep.
Okay. What is this doing? Okay. So we're going to do the Superwomen podcast. So I just wanted to show this little diagram because it shows how people are listening right now. And 25.9% people are listening to podcasts. That's just a little under AM, FM radio. And right now, a lot of podcasts are, the apps are being available on in the car. New cars are making the app available there, and then you have it on your phone, and everyone's just listening to their phone. They're not like really keen on radio anymore. See, even internet music alone is only 10.6, so we could grab a huge market share with 25.9%. So there are several main directories, or there's a lot of directories, but these are the main ones. There's iTunes at 525 million users. There's Stitcher Radio, SoundCloud, and BlackBerry Podcast. So the equipment that we would need is our computers, a recording and editing software. So there's Adobe Audition, there's Audacity and GarageBand, and Adobe Audition is the one that John Lee Dumas recommends. It's about $20 a month, and the other two, Audacity and GarageBand, are free. We need Skype. That way, if we want to do interviews, we can record it through Skype, and we need a microphone. Here's three of the ones that John Lee Dumas recommended, which is Logitech Clear Chat Headset, which is only $29, and this 2 to 7 means the quality, so that our voices can come through clear with optimal sound. The one that he says that is the best for if you're starting out is this ATR 2100, which is $59.99. It gives a voice sound quality of 7 to 8.5%. And then if for him, he does one every single day, and he has almost over 1,000 episodes. He uses the Heal PR-40 at $327, and that gives a quality of 8.5 to 9.8. So with podcasts, he was teaching us how to monetize it. So when you have a podcast, you can promote your products, you can have sponsorship. So he actually went out to different companies that coincided with his company, and he reached out to them and said, you know, I'll mention you, will you sponsor me? And because it's podcasts are doing so great, they're like, absolutely. So in his intros and outros, he mentions them a lot, and that way, you know, they get the proper advertisement, and he gets the money for his podcast. Another thing we can do is membership. I know we offer our Superwomen Connection for free. However, we can add a top-level membership where they pay for him. He only he has a tribe community that's like literally like $7.99, and with that, you know, with I don't know several thousand people, we can generate capital for our group in order to do more expanded things. Another thing with the podcast is we can offer coaching. And lastly is affiliates. So there's a lot of products and services out there that we can recommend that can help our audience in their journeys. And just like HostGator or Empower or other companies, we can offer the links to be affiliates. So Entrepreneur on Fire has been in business now for a couple, I think 2 to 3 years. And in just 1 month, in November, he had made $307,504 alone with all of these ways. He used all of them. So, and then the one that created the most was his products and membership. So to create a podcast is 8 steps. So first is recording and editing. So this Audacity, GarageBand, and Adobe Audition is a way that we can record our voices, get the episode going, and also you can record the interview via Skype and Adobe Audition or Ecamm Call Recorder. And I'm just going to go through these quickly. So, whoops, where am I? I think I just moved that. Anyway, okay, so now the second one is to add an intro and outro to an audio clip. And this is where we were talking about Layla having the intro and outro. That way she can add the music, do a welcome, and the description of the podcast, especially because your voice is so excellent for luring people in. We can also use this through these modalities, Adobe Audition, Audacity, and GarageBand. And then we basically export the MP3 and tag the MP3. So there is a tutorial. I did post notes in the Superwomen admin, but I'm looking on how to do a ScreenFlow to show this to you guys as well and do it for you myself. Or you can look at Entrepreneur on Fire. And this is how we can tag the MP3 with a graphic. And we're talking about having just one graphic because that way it builds the brand and builds consistency. So in order to tag an MP3, you need to download an ID3 editor. And next, the 5th step is to upload to a media host. The one that he recommended was Libsyn. It's basically a RSS feed that's secure and stable. It has tremendous bandwidth. They have a feature that coincides with iTunes where you can enter 3 categories that we're affiliated with, like as far as like business, entrepreneur, and maybe women. And that way our podcast can be promoted through like if people type in business or entrepreneur or women in there. It also provides really great statistics. When I was watching it, they were showing how like what countries are watching, how many people in those countries are watching and downloading, and all these different awesome statistics. I thought it was great. So the minimum payment is $7 a month, and the max is $75. John Lee Dumas also uses the $75 per month because, again, he puts one out every single day. Um, and then last, we just need to schedule, publish, and submit to the directory. And that's basically the 8 steps. And for him, when he was doing one of the tutorials, he did this in 3 minutes, especially if you already have your episode. Libsyn, it has the ability to schedule and then publish. And then you just have to go in directly and submit to the directories. So we were talking about Adello. I think it was Kathy Pitts that said she would loan us her Adello if we needed it to. So Adello is a podcast tool. It's basically marketed to internet marketers. They offer an affiliate fee of $100 or more. It's a user interface easy. Every step has a tutorial video, but the only downfall is it is used on top of a media host. It does not host the media. So they refer to Libsyn and Amazon S3. So the unique features of Adello is that they have an audio bar and they do audio split testing. So the not so unique is, I want to actually go down to the second bullet, is that it basically has the same features as a WordPress platform. And so since we already have that, we have the ability to schedule, we have the stats, and we have a way to have a playlist and a feed. Another not so unique is the Adello voice. Customers can upload a voice message, but we can also use SpeakPipe, which is free. So that's pretty cool too. And so here's a way to submit the podcast to iTunes. Basically, you create an episode, create the RSS feed, and that's where we can use Libsyn. Create the cover art. It has to be 1400 by 1400, and then post it to a server to get a public URL, which is the Libsyn. And then you go to iTunes, submit podcast, and enter RSS feed, and there you go. Quite easy. And then how to submit a podcast to Stitcher Radio. You just go to, you Google Stitcher Content Provider. You enter your contact info to apply for the account. Enter keywords for your podcast and wait for approval. And then how to submit a podcast on BlackBerry Podcasts. So you Google BlackBerry podcast app, and you have to register if you don't have an account. And go to the very bottom of the page, and you go to add your podcast today. Enter the RSS feed. Enter the feed details. Make sure you click all the countries, submit, and wait for approval. So I'm going to come back to you. Am I back? Okay. Did you guys get all that? Okay.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I really like, well, I love Entrepreneur on Fire. I'm a huge fan. And that is pretty much exactly what we want to do. We want to, all of his methods for creating an income through the podcast, I think that the podcast could totally fund our retreats and our workshops and our live events and our luncheons and our bruncheons and everything, and just so much awesomeness that could come from this one little thing. And we've kind of been throwing it out there, talking about it. It's come up here and there, but I think if just kind of like what you were reading, with that focused creativity and that intention to have this podcast really be the door opener so that we can expand the Superwoman Connection, so that we can reach other women all around the world. Because quite frankly, the conference call is not doing that, even though that's the intention behind it, to share it with new women, to have new women dialing in. It's not functioning the way that conference calls used to function, mostly because we're all on the go, locking yourself down to a specific time of day, to be there every day, to your schedule. It's not working for people, especially with a lot of our superwomen that are international. It's just not feasible. So that's why we have really put some focused effort, and we are charging forward with this new the new wave of the Superwoman Connection. So we definitely don't want just there to be just crickets in the group for the next couple of months. We want to keep you guys engaged. We have some awesome ideas for what we were talking about, daily task lists and productivity lists and activity lists and different things that we can put out there for you ladies to stay engaged, to stay on top of your business. But I want to hear from some of the other women. I know that let me see here. I know that Terry is up at 5 in the morning. Are you able to talk, Terry? I don't know if you're able to talk. You might be like with sleeping kids all around you. But just some of your feedback on this. I would love to hear.
Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm down in Australia. It's at 5 a.m. So I'm talking softly. You can hear me though?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Kids are all asleep. Yeah, no, I feel excited. It's great to get together and to see this vision of going to the next level. So I feel really excited actually, and for me it's definitely been tricky, the timing as one of the people on the other side of the world, to consistently wake up and be there live. So I really look forward to being able to not only engage more myself but also have other women from this side of the world be able to access. But I just absolutely love this group.
It's a lot easier. It will be a lot easier for us to share the message. So when you do hear one of those calls that just really grips you, or one of those podcasts, we're going to have to work on, my language is just going to say teleseminar for so long. But yeah, when you hear one of those podcasts that just really grabs you, and to be able to share that with a blog post or cut your own video about it and promote it and have it much easier to get the word out, it's definitely a transition that needs to happen. So the timeline that we've set up is by the end of the summer we want to have this thing running, but I believe that with Candace doing so much awesome research, basically laying the steps out for us, we just got to do it. And there's nothing that can stop us. When I look at this panel and I see, there's so much value, there's so much training, there's so many interviews, so many stories that we have that need to be shared. So pretty much we could start, we'd like to get the branding and everything like that in order, which won't take very long, and the intros and outros, but we can start recording the content, the audios, scheduling the content, so that we can hit the ground running, so that when we are ready to kick this off, we're not saying, okay, well, what are we supposed to talk about next week? We want to have everything in place so that when this thing kicks off, we can really just go top speed, full speed ahead. So I don't know if there was anything else that you ladies wanted to talk about or you wanted to discuss. We're going to be keeping you guys posted. If you're watching this in the Facebook group, or you're watching this on YouTube, or wherever you're watching it, we're going to give you lots of updates and really keep you guys in the loop. We want your feedback too, as far as podcast topics and certain themes that we have for the week and the month. We want to hear what you want out of the Superwomen podcast, and we want your stories. So we want to interview you guys. We want to bring you guys out into these podcasts and share what you've experienced with the world. So we definitely are excited about this. Was there anything else that anybody wanted to throw in there? Any questions or anything?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I missed the part of the planning for it, but I know we mentioned having guests. I'm sorry, my son is not being quiet. He wants to be cooperative. You want to be cooperative.
I'm hungry.
Okay, so
My son's hungry too.
he just got home from school. That's why 3 o'clock is always hard for me. But we talked about having guests, and so I wanted to know. We're going to start with the recording and getting the content. I guess we could start with inviting guests, but I wanted to know specifically who will be our guests. What I know a lot of us are from various companies, but most of us right on this panel here is from the same company. But specifically, was it said who we have as guests? Is it from a particular industry, company?
No, I mean if they have a what is it? If they're a woman and they have a success story or results, I think we want to invite them there. We don't want to limit it to just they have to be a blogger, they have to be in a certain company. I think we do have from the group that we have right now, within that community, there are so many women in there that are quiet or that haven't spoken out yet or haven't shared their story, and I would love to hear them. So yeah, I mean, I think we can be flexible with the guests that we have on and use our own just our own decision making on whether we think that this is a story that would move people. We don't necessarily have to have someone that has $1 million ring, or we don't have to have someone that has all these huge results, because we know that sometimes it's that story that you hear from the that grabs you, that moves you, that puts you into action. So yeah, I think we definitely want to keep it open to bringing in inspirational, empowering stories, and training and experiences, and obviously we want to bring in the women with results too, because that's who we want to model. We want to be paying attention to the women that are out there crushing it in whatever industry, writing books, writing ebooks, doing coaching, doing live webinars, doing blogging, doing video. There are a lot of women out there that are doing really well, so we want to highlight them and edify them. And
I think if we go with like we talked about the monthly theme, that will make it pretty obvious who we want to have for guests if we have like a monthly theme.
Yeah. So this is the kind of the structure that we're looking at. We won't be doing like a daily podcast like Hugh is doing, but we're aiming for 3 days a week. So Monday is our Meditation Monday, where we're talking about meditation, visualization, all of these sort of skills that go in within that genre. And then Wednesday would be our, what did we say, Workshop Wednesday? So Wednesday is where we would bring out a specific trainer to teach you on a marketing skill or a business skill for your business. And then Friday, keeping our book club Friday. Which is really cool, because sometimes I know that I feel if I miss a book club Friday, then I feel like I've fallen behind. So it's really good to have these, so you can like download a whole book of Book Club Fridays all at once onto your phone, of the awesome women reading it to you. So that's pretty Strategy Wednesdays. So that's what we're looking at, and then keeping like a monthly theme. We're still kind of open to that and to the ideas of what our monthly themes would be, and we want your feedback, we want your interaction, we're doing this for you guys. We honestly, we want to see you have better results. We want to see you be able to bring new women in and to have something really valuable that you can talk about to women, especially with the ideas that Sheena and Candace were talking about with our ebook that we're working on. So we want to have a giveaway or a lead magnet. If you're an internet marketer, you know what a lead magnet is. A lead magnet, so that you can actually have someone opt in to get this incredibly inspiring, awesome, amazing, empowered stories of women in the Superwomen Connection who have overcome adversity and have tapped into their inner strength and power, and you can actually offer that as a lead magnet, which is going to be pretty awesome. So yeah, we want to give you guys as many tools as we can that are going to bring a new audience in and attract women to you, so that you really can give them something substantial that's going to help them to achieve those results in their business. So yeah, I think we're still working on designating some of the some of the tasks. I'm gonna take on the schedule myself, just so that we can make sure that the scheduling's done and we have all of the topics, we know what we want, and then we can start recording and putting it all together. And I think that we are going to beat our deadline of by the end of the summer. I think that we can have this podcast rolling in the next 45 days or so, so that you ladies can start promoting it, and you can start blogging about it, and you can start sharing it with all the women out there in the world. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a quick update. Wanted to give you guys an update on what was going on, so no one was like, oh my God, what happened to the calls? Where did they go? This is actually a great chance for you to go back, and I had the idea, because we have so much content, right? We have all of these recorded calls that are so powerful, so amazing. I wanted to go back and almost do a best of. So Sheena was talking like something that we can give away as a bonus is our top 10 best calls that we've ever had. So I thought, why not put it out there to the ladies to almost do like a running tally or a running contest of which one was your favorite, and have everybody kind of vote on which one they loved, and put a top 10 list together of our favorite calls, so that we can actually offer that as an incentive or a bonus or a download to women that just get started. So new women that go into Superwoman Connection, they're not like, oh my God, there's 300 calls here. Where do I start? We kind of give them these are the best of the best. This is where you really want to listen. So this is a great chance for you to catch up on some of the calls that you've missed, because I can guarantee there's some calls that you haven't listened to. So while we're on a break, get inside the Superwoman Facebook group, go in there, download the calls, and really take this time to get up to speed on the actual insane value that is there for the Superwoman. So yeah, we'll be keeping you guys updated. We'll be keeping you in the loop with all of the new exciting stuff that's coming up. But don't go anywhere. We are ready to take the Superwoman Connection global, and to step it up, to step up our game, and to go into this new journey and epic adventure. Was somebody saying something? Look at Joanne. She's reversing. Joanne, please don't hit anything. Do you have a reverse cam? I hope you have a reverse cam. All right, ladies. Well, if that's it, we're going to wrap it up, call it a wrap, and we'll get to work on all of this awesome stuff. And I think that it will be in no time. We'll be up to speed on this podcast. Yeah, that's a great idea, Keisha. Keisha had an idea that we should do our own post. So maybe each of us sharing one of our favorite calls with you ladies that are new, that haven't listened to all of the calls within the group. So make sure you keep your eye on the Facebook group. Make sure to put it as a favorite, so you go back to the Facebook group, you see what's going on, you see the updates, and you can really stay plugged in with all the changes and the evolution that's about to come with the Superwoman Connection. So yeah, that's it, ladies. That's a wrap. Peace out.